Darth Maul was Sidious' sinister Sith apprentice, who we trusted to see over the invasion of Naboo before he was cut down by Obi-Wan Kenobi. But what would have happened if, when he survived, he returned to Sidious following his failure?
Doubt will only lead to failure.
Hold!
Our combined strength will be rewarded. Mandalore will be yours, and Kenobi, this Sith pretender Dooku, and all our enemies will fall.
Now for this theory, we're going to say that Maul returns to Sidious, and although Sidious will be very angry at his apprentice, as he was felled by a mere Padawan, he did manage to kill a Jedi Master, and ultimately, the Naboo mission was a success. It gave him a seat as Chancellor, and it stirred political unrest in the Republic. Now, Sidious is going to start putting together the CIS, but the problem with this is that the actual timeline, much of this work was carried out by Dooku, Sidious' new apprentice following Maul. But if Maul's alive and well, Dooku can't fill his role. So what happens? Well, realistically, Sidious would probably still use Dooku. After all, he was the perfect man for the job, smart, reserved, and well versed in politics, which starkly contrasts Maul, who was brash and often cruel simply to be cruel. So most likely to happen is that Sidious uses Dooku as his political puppet, as he does in our timeline, and although Maul remains his apprentice, Dooku would likely become a Dark Jedi, trained in the dark side, but not holding the rank of Sith. Now, we're going to say that this leads to the Clone Wars as it does in our timeline. However, the Separatists now have the power of a very formidable Sith Lord at the front of their armies. I say this because in our timeline, in the years between Naboo and the Clone Wars, Maul's Sith training stopped. He wasn't tuning his skills and exploring deep mysteries of the dark side, he was going insane in a junkyard. Now, imagine if in them 10 years between Naboo and the Clone Wars, Maul becomes more and more powerful. By the time the war starts, in my opinion, he would be by far one of the greatest and most powerful warriors in the galaxy. Imagine Maul, Grievous and Dooku, a lethal force that could dispatch any enemy fast and effectively. I find it very unlikely that any Jedi would be able to stand up to all three of these foes, not even Windu. Although having Maul spearheading their armies would be incredibly useful to the CIS, it's gonna cause problems down the line. The Sith betray each other, and as we know, Maul would yearn for power, and he's not getting it. Dooku manages the CIS, and Sidious rules the Republic. So naturally, Maul is gonna try to betray his master, he's gonna try to claim more power, because that's what every Sith has to do. I believe Maul would first attempt to sway Dooku to his side. By doing this, he could get most of the Separatist holdings to support him. Failing this, he would kill Dooku and proclaim himself the new leader of the CIS. Now, if this happens, the CIS would become fractured. Many are not going to feel comfortable following Maul, and the Separatists would likely undergo a secession movement of their own. Meanwhile, Maul would reveal Sidious' identity to the Jedi, and the Jedi would kill him. This would leave Maul with command over the CIS at full strength, where he would likely take Dooku on as apprentice, or he would be the commander of a fractured CIS. This would likely make a very easy target for the Republic to snuff out. But what do you think? Undeniably, Maul would seek out to continue the war and butcher as many Jedi as possible. But do you think he'd be successful? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub.